Notre Dame football recruiting fans, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad Hughesby, and today we are finishing our three-part series on how they committed. Notre Dame has 20-something players committed in the class of 2023, and they probably only have room for another 2, 3, maximum 4. So I thought it was a good time to make this video. We're going to be going over tight ends, running backs, and wide receivers today. We'll start with the running back position. You're watching Dylan Edwards, the speedy 5'8", 5'9" back from Derby, Kansas. This kid is electric. He's one of my favorite players in the class. I'm so glad he was a take because at first he wasn't, but Dylan McCullough was all over him after he saw his 4.38 laser time, 4.37 laser time at the UA showcase over the summer in Florida. Dylan Edwards was committed to Kansas State. Actually was back there for their game this past weekend, but I think all is well with his commitment. I do think he signs to Notre Dame. I'm very confident about that. He doesn't play the greatest competition. He lives in Kansas, but I will say he dominates. His team is one of the best, if not the best, in the state, and he puts on a clinic every single Friday night. His game versus Avery Johnson earlier this year, they're good buddies. The Kansas State quarterback commit was one of the best games I've seen in a long time. And this kid is just exciting. He's electric. He's fast. He's gritty, though. He can hit the holes. He's patient. He can also play slot wide receiver. I wouldn't be shocked if he does kickoff or punt returns in the future. He is going to make an impact while at Notre Dame, I promise you. And I wouldn't be shocked if he does it as a true freshman, too. Next, Jaden Lamar. Kid's a stud. Lives up in Washington. Also doesn't play the best talent every Friday night, but he's very, very talented himself. Has taken a few visits this fall. Washington, Oregon, and Arizona, I believe, are the three. But I do think he sticks to Notre Dame. He doesn't love the three running backs committed, I think. But Jeremiah Love and Dylan Edwards can also play slot wide receiver. Jeremiah Love can also play corner. So these guys might move around a little bit. They're just true takes. They're athletes. Jaden Lamar, I do think, sticks with his commitment. I think Michigan was probably the school that finished second in his recruitment. And then last but not least, Jeremiah Love from St. Louis. He pound for pound might be a five-star in the class of 2023. Just a stud. Dominates the St. Louis scene, which is pretty good. And he has had a great year this year. Jeremiah Love was a huge pickup. A&M finished second here. Oregon, Michigan, Bama were a few of his top other schools. Tight end. They only have one guy committed. That's Cooper Flanagan, the tight end out of Concord, California, De La Salle High School up in San Fran, NorCal. Super talented player. Alabama has been pushing him for a little bit, LSU as well, but I think he's solid with Notre Dame. I expect him to sign the dotted line. And he's very talented, very, very good run blocker. Wide receiver, you have one of the best wide receiver trios in the country of Jaden Greathouse, Braylon James, and Rico Flores. These three guys are just elite. Rico Flores had a top three of Ohio State, Georgia, Notre Dame. I don't know if he was quite a take at Ohio State. I think he might have been at Georgia, but I think Notre Dame was where he always wanted to go. Loved the prestige of it, just getting out of his situation in Fresno. I think he really wanted to go to Notre Dame. And then Braylon James, TCU has been quietly in the mix, but I don't buy that at all. He has some good connections there. They're close to home. He's from Fort Worth. UT Austin, Texas was involved here as well. But I think Stanford and Notre Dame are really the top two. Love the economic prestige of Stanford. Almost committed there, but he wanted the better football aspect of it. Even though Stanford did beat Notre Dame this year, Notre Dame is typically much better than Stanford, and they are, except for that one Saturday night in South Bend. But Notre Dame landed him, and all looks to be well there. And the final guy, which I know a lot of fans want to hear about, Jaden Greathouse. In my opinion, he's a five-star. I am just all over Jaden Greathouse. When I say these kids are better than their rankings are, that might be a little biased, but I honestly think Jaden Greathouse is a top 5 wide receiver in the country, just an elite wide receiver. He dominates probably the best high school football league in the country at Westlake. He's big, fast, rangy, athletic, can go up and get it, can create for himself. I think he's a future first or second round pick. Him and Chauncey Stuckey are very close. Now he is taking a visit to Texas this weekend. He was supposed to be there a few weeks ago, didn't end up making it in. But a lot of these recruits are going. Peyton Bowen is going as well. I think it's more just to see a really big time game. It's Saturday Night Football, TCU, Texas. It's going to be an elite game. College football playoff applications there with TCU being a top 5 team in the country. But I don't think anything of it. He's grown up a Texas fan, but I think he wants to do something different for college. It's a close game right by his house. I don't really buy it as anything to worry about, but maybe he returns for another game, or maybe communication falls off with him in Notre Dame. Then you might get worried. So right now, though, I'm not worried. So that's all I have to say about Jaden Greathouse. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you have any questions at all. And that is it for me.